I mean, don't get me wrong, I do love social media. It's opened so many doors for me and countless others. If it wasn't for social media, I wouldn't have done a radio interview or written an article for the Metro. It's done so much for me. But at the same time, I hate it. Hi friends, it is Sam, and I want to talk to you in this video about social media. I'm in the generation who has seen the rise of social media from MSN Instant Messenger to now with all the apps and all the different social media platforms like TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Tumblr. There are so many. My dog's coming in.
Hello, puppy. Do you want to come into the video?
Sir?
Woo! Don't sit where I'm sitting.
Okay, we're back. Because I'm part of that generation and I've witnessed the rise of social media, I think it's entirely understandable how I feel about it. You've got the pre-social media folk who are a bit indifferent towards it, don't really care, and a lot of them are opposed to it. You've got the post-social media generation who love it and don't know any different, and then you've got my generation who know both sides and understandably feel mixed about it. Now, there are probably many videos on this topic and people are far more eloquent than I am. But I just wanted to share my experience with notification anxiety today, mainly because I talk to quite a few people online that I've either never met before or I only see once in a blue moon, and I think if you got them in a room together and asked them how good I am at responding quickly, they would say unanimously, not at all. So I guess this video is mainly for those people and the people who comment on my videos, because every Wednesday I'll upload at 10 AM and I'll promote my video on all the socials, and then I will go to work. I will work until 6 PM and then I will come home, eat dinner, and then I will check my comments. And I feel so excited to see how people have responded to my videos. And then once I've seen how people have responded, the dread sets in. Because I have to respond. And this isn't in any way me saying, don't comment because I don't want to talk to you, because I do want to talk to you. And I love seeing comments and I love responding to comments. But it's just the overwhelming pressure that I put on myself and that I feel that really makes me anxious. So back in the MSN days, I was a teenager. I was like 13 to 15 sort of age, and I was allowed 1 hour of computer time per evening. I had an allotted time to speak to my friends, and then I could go off and do my own thing. And that was, I mean, looking back, it's like I never wanted to leave MSN, but I think my mum was right to do that, because I felt no pressure to pick up my phone and respond to someone immediately because I did not have permission. We used terms like BRB and G2G to let people know that we were off doing other stuff for like 5 minutes or when we had to go. And people understood that because we didn't have constant internet. However, times have changed. We now have constant internet. Our phones are constantly getting notifications, and there is no GTG or BRB. There is just talk. And that is so overwhelming to me. I've never really been one to have that many friends, and it always baffles me when people want to talk to me. And I put pressure on myself to say the right thing and be nice and be funny and be witty and keep the conversation going, because they put in the effort to start a conversation with me. So I should be the one to keep the conversation going. I put that pressure on myself. So when I get all these notifications I just get nervous because, okay, I have like 3 people to respond to, but that's like 3 people to keep conversation with. To be honest, I've never been a person of many words. I know that may come as a shock to you if you're watching this and you know that I've got like 100+ videos that I've chatted lots of crap in, but during conversation, I'm not that great. To be honest, I heavily rely on a person in face-to-face conversation to keep the conversation going. I am crap. Awkward silence is my middle name. But online, you don't know that. You don't know that I'm not good at conversation because you watch me once or twice a week on YouTube chatting for an average of 12 minutes. So you'd probably think that I have a lot to say, but I do. And if that's not enough to set off my anxiety, there's also the fact that I don't know how messages are supposed to come across without emojis. Like, we've got to a point in our lives that if you text without emojis, there is a danger that someone's gonna think you're mad at them. If you've ever commented on one of my videos, you will notice that I use emojis and exclamation marks to show how enthusiastic and happy I am, and that I love that you commented on my video, because I am enthusiastic about your comment. But it's also due to a huge fear that if I don't put exclamation marks or emojis in my comments, you might think that I'm being up myself. I actually commented on a friend's video last night correcting their pronunciation. And they responded, and they're not an emoji user per se. Like, they do use emojis here and there, but not all the time. And when they responded, like, I didn't know how to take it because there were no emojis and no exclamation marks, and I was like, oh my god, they're mad at me. I'm a spelling and grammar corrector. I can't help it. I've got to do it. And that may come across as an excuse, and it might be an excuse, but I just thought I was being funny. But I didn't know how to take their response, so I had to send them a message before I got into bed, like, hey, did you see the moon tonight? It's big and red, and it looks crazy. And then we had this little conversation about the moon, and it made me feel better. And it reassured me that said person was not mad at me. Like, I honestly treasure and cherish time away from my phone because there's no pressure to check it and see all these notifications. Opening Instagram and seeing that I've got DMs really frightens me. Seeing that little messenger bubble on my phone screen just terrifies me. And I'm not one to leave people on red, so I just leave the notifications there. Because A, they won't know that I've seen that they've messaged me, but they probably do know. 2, it reminds me to respond to them later. But then the notifications kind of pile up because I haven't responded to those messages, and then new messages come in. And then on top of that, there's the guilt that I haven't responded to these people who have spent some of their time tapping out a message to me and thinking of me, taking time out of their day to even consider me. And I'm just like, yep, seen that, thank you. And I respond like within an hour or the next day or 2 days later because I'm just overwhelmed. Because there are so many social media apps out now, that just provides potential for endless notifications and endless anxiety. And the funny thing is, like, half the time messages are just something like LOL, something I don't have to respond to, something I can just heart and move on from. And other times the messages are really kind compliments or asking how my day's going. But then that just brings out the anxiety that I'm going to have to carry on the conversation. It's just hard. It's hard. And I don't want to come across as ungrateful because I love that people talk to me and consider me and think I'm interesting enough to hold a conversation with. And I love getting messages. I love talking to people. I've got quite a few friends across my social media platforms who I've never met in real life, but who I hope to meet. And I'm scared that I think they're not worthy of my attention because I take so long to respond. That's not the case at all. I just need to take my time, find space in my day to sit down and respond to these messages mindfully without distraction so that I'm not overwhelmed. Because that's what worked best for me when I was young. I'd spend an hour talking to my friends and then I'd go off and do other things like homework, watch TV, do a puzzle, write a story, you know, like other things that benefit me as a human. So to anyone who's been messaging me, anyone who comments on my videos, anyone who comments on my Instagram, anyone who tweets me, I appreciate you. I love you. I will respond to you. I have seen that you've messaged me. Thank you for your patience. Please do not cease to message me just because I'm slow to respond. Please be patient with me because it's likely that I very much enjoy speaking to you and I treasure you and I want to be great friends, but my brain is just a problem. Also, if you feel this way about notifications and instant messaging and the pressure to be entertaining and friendly, just know that you're not alone and that it's not your fault and that you can take all the time you need and the people who love and appreciate you will be patient with you. Let me know in the comments below how you feel about this sort of thing. I will be sure to respond to you within 1 to 5 working days. Now I am off to upload this video, post it all over my socials, await comments and then reply to them late. Like, subscribe, and I will see you next time with another video. Bye!